went down very early to Blaze, 3-1, and now has been having to make that lower bracket run, and now he's going up against the person who beat him in the Autumn Championship.
Yeah, and this is those couple recent W's that Acno got are essentially only from recent tournaments. You're talking about the Autumn Championship, of course, being one of them. 5-3 lifetime between these two. Now, the haha joke of giving away who it is, right? Godly up 5-3, but between them, of late, Acno's just been winning anyways, and that was with the Kaya before, but here, instead, on the Hunin, I think that the bow has been a bit of a check to Godly.
Yeah, I mean, that long range has a lot of ground control, and we saw Acno utilizing that signature kit of the Hunin so effectively, those GC side sigs in particular, or just the down air has enough force to deny a wall touch from Godly, and Acno gonna juggle, delay that weapon spawn, but it's gonna be the Scythe for the start of the stock.
And Gano, of course, also in that same tier of people who have been just piloting the Katars to excellent results of late. And just in general, actually, it doesn't really matter who Godly plays. He gets the job done. But will he be able to finish it here? No. Acno, of course, being able to get that wall touch back on. And that's a borrowed time stock right now. So if I'm Acno, I just want straight hits. Yeah,
just get any damage that you can. And honestly, he is getting that damage. He is adding it up onto the second stock of Godly, both being pretty patient here. Godly knows that he can't over-aggress and let Acno get too much on it, and he'll find that hit with the downlight recovery, but still, he took a fair bit of damage. Yeah, you're going to see a massive amount of respect at moments like that where they will just not do anything because they know that it's he who strikes first will probably lose this interaction sometimes. But that's just the history that these two have. I still can't believe, again, that we're talking about this. This is 4th place, by the way. One of these two is done at 4th. And then, as Photo was saying earlier, Simple out at 5th. Like, this is a very different timeline we're looking at. I mean, honestly, EU looking a lot like NA right now with how this Winter Championship is so volatile. You're still seeing some consistent names, but just in a little bit of a different spot right now. Godly playing from behind. He is getting some damage put out, but Acno knows he just needs to find that one hit. Downlight GC neutral heavy for the extra variable force to guarantee the KO.
It definitely seems like before Acno, I felt was just kind of almost gut checked with the way that he'd approach Godly throughout that past year, and ever since then, it just feels like Acno just has an understanding now of Godly's disadvantage. He knows where he wants to take a defensive play now, because normally Godly will just hover around you and have no fear. It's actually crazy how well he just kind of hovers right over someone like that to get a bait out and then get a punish, which basically led to that stock.
Nice GC sidelight there from Godly to finish that one off. I'm honestly very impressed with the fact that Acno has hit the 3-piece on Bow multiple times. Not a true combo, but he's still hitting the 3-piece, hitting that sidelight into the downlight. This time he's going to go for the down sig read, expecting Godly to go down, but Godly stayed high in the sky. But it doesn't matter, as Acno is again back at it with the juggles.
Acno is giving him a lot of frequent flyer miles right now. He is making sure that he has a free trip over to the U.S. next time he comes back, because he is only just now touching the ground. And Godly kind of struggling to get an opener there. Does finally catch one from Acno, but either way, it doesn't matter. I feel like Acno's just been playing so good up to this point.
I mean, Godly is going to need those frequent flyer miles, because if he doesn't win this, he's not getting the flight over to the Royale in about a month. So Godly needs to get this W, or actually, I mean, either one of them needs to get this W.
Very true. Oh my God, this guarantees one of these two isn't going to be in the Royale. We just pretty much auto-assumed that Godly and Acno were both going to be here. That's where a lot of us were just like, okay, they're going to, okay, so we know that they're coming. No, not at all. So this is a lot more than just the fight for getting that podium finish. And of course, these two are not done with just third. They want to take the whole thing. But one of these two has no shot at making it.
No, it's a battle for the top 3. Acno in the lead right now off of some incredible bow play, which again is not like overly surprising. We talked about the Kaya that won him Autumn Championship, but we kind of neglected to talk about the Koji that he used to play so long ago. It's just raw bow play coming out from Acno.
Yeah, Acno, you're 100% right. Majority of the championships attached to Acno's name will include a bow along the way. And Godly, for a good while, had it just solved. Great to get some nice 3-piece out of that. And he's, you definitely feel like he's not playing as afraid of bow to start this round, at least. And it forced an immediate switch to Scythe.
Oh, but the Scythe looking good. Hits the side air, doesn't get another one. Doesn't hit the wall touch, and Godly is going to get the stock advantage.
Ooh. Okay, so with certain caliber of players, it's like they can rebound from that. Acno can definitely rebound from that. But those are the type of moments that if you don't immediately strike right back, Godly will take full advantage of that. And Godly's trying to do exactly that right now. Of course, Acno just looking for one solid play. That wasn't enough. Recovery will definitely do it at this point, though.
Oh, but he's looking for those down sigs instead. He's thrown out so many of them, trying to play a concert in Godly's ears, but Godly is having none of it. More and more damage being put out onto the second stock.
I swear, you were talking before about a different move that he kept landing over and over. You see the ground pound closing this out. Oh, the three pieces. Yeah. I feel like Acno's doing that thing right now where when you play against really good players, sometimes you second guess everything you're going to do, right? I think he's just playing that, look, I know you're a good player, so you don't think I'm going to do this, but I'm going to do it 3 times in a row, and it keeps working. That time, Godly, though, going to go ahead and take him out off the side. But up until that point, Acno is getting away with a lot.
Yeah, there's definitely a mind game of, like, you're not going to do it another time. This
you won't do it a third time, right?
Thing.
The 4th time?
Yo.
Oh, wait a minute. Big opportunity for Acno here. And that is a huge opportunity that was closed out on. So wasting no time whatsoever to answer right back after getting that stock loss. And we have 1 stock apiece here in game 2.
Yeah, really well done from Acno, stealing that stock away from Godly. And he was a little bit in an uncomfortable spot there, floating alongside Godly, both of them sweat beating, but Acno hit the nair that he needed to deny the wall touch and give himself the movement back towards the stage. But he is behind again.
I actually kind of like what Godly did there, too. I think he felt too uncomfortable with the idea of getting snatched off stage. Like, you know what? You got it. That's fine. I'll control center. I'm going to let you get back on, but I'm going to keep you in an uncomfortable position. Meanwhile, Acno looking for the nair, does not find it after he dodges back in. And both of them being, once again, like we saw in game 1, very, very concerned about being the first one to strike first here.
I mean, this is a very important game for both sides. This could either be Acno up 2-0, 1 game away from knocking the champion of EU down, or it could be a tie-up from Godly.
Yeah, create that rubber game situation of who gets to come out on top with that 2-1, which is very important. D-Light recovery will be enough as we see Godly put himself on the board. Fantastic adjustments that game. I feel like after the first stock where he was getting caught repeatedly by that 3 pieces, it never really happened again.
Yeah. Really well done, and I love that GC that Godly did to get through that weapon toss. You'll see a lot of people do it in the vertical game where like someone likes to do that weapon toss down and they try to protect their landing, but Godly was ready for it on this one in the reaction, right? See, spot dodges through it, instant gravity canceled down light recovery.
Yeah, you look at the difference of damage there too and go, wow, that was kind of, why was that like as close as it was with that big difference in between the two? Is because of that incredible edge guard Acno had with the scythe before. So you can never really get too comfortable as he tries to go for another attempt at it right there, going for a recovery high, looking for the GCD light, still keeping Godly off stage.
Yeah, Godly, that recovery was him saying, I'm trying to get away from this. Please, I want to live. Let's go back onto the stage. And Acno is not allowing it. Godly still manages to touch the stage, but man, the threat, that promise that Acno is trying to put out there of I can take a stock off stage.
You have to be built in a very high skilled level point when you're getting hit that many times to not freak out and still find your way back on. So Godly able to prevent what could have been an early stock there. Meanwhile, just missing again. I feel like Acno's throwing them out kind of like freely. Granted, there's a lot of range on these signatures, but Godly's playing just outside of those ranges and getting away with it. But that should be enough as we see Acno strike first.
What a down air from Acno, just going off stage, instant down air onto Godly, catches that recovery as well. And like you said, Acno can throw out those signatures, in particular like that scythe down sig has a lot of range on it. It can be relatively safe if you're doing it right.
Oh, actually, for a second, I thought he was going to live. Demon Island, of course, gives a little bit of grace sometimes, but not that time. Answering right back. I'm curious to see what Godly's going to choose. He is staying on the Katars at the moment. We saw a lot of sword towards the end of the last game and the beginning of this one. I feel like he kind of needs that burst. He needs that. He needs the couple reads to kind of put some fear in Acno, but I feel like Acno's just not playing scared at all.
Oh, but he might need to be a little scared right now as Godly staying around there, doesn't have the position to keep Acno down, doesn't hit the side air either.
No. That would have kept it going, too. He had such a good turn, and instead now it's switched back. Of course, Acno actually doesn't get too much out of that, so that was way better. But Godly just trying to reset up that situation, and Light's going to send them back off stage.
Yo, the potential doesn't hit the down air, though. Godly back on stage, trying to play that neutral, not hitting those side airs. Down light recovery. Godly going to get that stock advantage, but he is hurting.
Yeah, I feel like Godly's definitely doing a solid job of slowing things down, but he's still getting hit enough on stray hits that Acno's able to keep the game even regardless. And Acno's scythe has been looking really good alongside that. Whoa, I like it. I respect it. I heavily respect that. Does get ground pounded for his shovels, but I do like the attempt. However, not even enough to take it out as we do finally see him get knocked out there.
Yeah, I really love that attempt from Godly there, going in with that ground pound, tried to chase with the down air. Acno's dodge was burned. He went for the GC side sig, and Godly had so much time that he could go for the hits. He just picked wrong on that down air and unfortunately couldn't convert to a KO.
Acno boxing his way back on with the Nairs. Once again, as kind of expected here last stock, very even game between these two. Looks like the bow is going to be what tries to get the job done. Actually, never mind. Oh, no, he refreshed the bow. Okay. I think the bow is what needs to get started again. It was what was working in game 1, kind of got figured out in game 2, and it's now working again here in game 3.
I did not realize you could just spot dodge inside that side sig. That side sig is so scary. Godly, clearly a smarter gamer than I, spot dodges inside of it and survives, but the down sig, Acno dodges into it, but manages to time it correctly.
Acno trying to catch him, jumping over towards the weapon spawn with the end light, but does not find his marker. However, weapon toss trying to catch him, but that's going to be a big punish on the GCD light recovery from Acno. Again, we mentioned it at the beginning. He's playing just outside of ranges from these 6. Even with all the range, the range they got, he knows the sweet spot on where he could be right near you to say, go ahead, pull the trigger. Pull the trigger. Oh, you did? Nice. Now I get to punish it.
He's very good at that half jump height, gravity cancel downlight into the recovery. We saw it at the end of the last game, and we saw it at the end of this game as well. Both times doing it as a defensive option, right? The first one to get through the weapon toss, this time to be above that down signature. And now we're seeing the swap come out from Acno. He's over to the Mirage for this one, wants to keep that sight. Again, that potential to steal stocks, but he wants a spear instead of the bow, which is a bit odd because we have been applauding his bow play.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of getting figured out a little bit, but I still feel like the bow is just what gets the job done. But Spear, of course, being that amazing poke tool you need sometimes to kind of shut someone's aggression down, I feel like he is just maybe more comfortable with the idea of jumping with nairs and jumping with recoveries to stop this really good job that Godly keeps doing of just hovering right above him.
Well, he does have a little bit more anti-air tools with that downlight, some combo potential there, but right now, needs to figure out how to open up Godly. Does get that sidelight, but can't get much else.
Remember, this is what could be a potential the final choice of Acno as well. Going here with the Mirage, being down 2-1, could be a difference between a trip to top 3 and a continuation as an attempt to get a higher placing for that the Royale later. But Godly has really woken up a ton, and it does not look like that's changing.
Yeah, I want to say it's like a lot of it is that sword play. We saw at the end of that last one, I think 311 damage put out on the sword. Definitely was leaning into it a lot more as things have been progressing, but still, on a fresh stock, he wants the Katars to start it off, and Acno's going to hit the downlight side air.
All right, Acno striking back, taking no damage at that either. So the spear is the weapon of choice to try and start. Of course, Godly just boxing him away like, I don't even need a weapon, bro. I got hands, and they're for you.
He's almost done more damage with unarmed than he has Katars in this one. Like he's just not been putting out as much damage with the Katars.
I mean, you're actually 100% right on that too. This is definitely a 3-weapon player right here. He will use that to his. He will use that incredibly well. I do like that GC sidelight to kind of get out of disadvantage as well. He's mixing up the way he's boxing down, and it's kind of tripping up Acno in certain positions.
Yeah, Acno there trying to go for a big play with that GC and Sig, but Godly was to the opposite side of him, but wasn't in position to punish. Downlight side air, weapon toss connects, needs a little bit more here. Godly not able to find the side air that he wants, so instead it's going to be 2 recoveries to give him the stock lead, and he's 1 stock away from getting a top 3 finish.
That was phenomenal the way he hovered right around him too before he got down. It's like, look, I'm not letting you land for free. You got to guess correctly this time, and you didn't, and just stayed right with him with that second recovery. And now Acno's sitting here waiting and gets the punish on the dodge too with the follow-up there. Oh, he's feeling himself.
Yeah, that was a nice play coming out from Godly. Downlight ground pound, and then baits out the spot dodge. Downlight doesn't hit the ground pound this time, but Acno is taking damage after damage.
He's already lapped him in damage at that too. This is one good play away from Godly. Here's going with the Sarah. Won't be enough just yet, but basically Godly just needs one more call. Once again, big punish, and that's going to be Godly moving forward here in the top 3, removing Acno from the picture, and also getting a revenge match back after the recent W's Acno's been able to get. Godly once again reclaims that he is, in fact, that #1.
Man, those jump gravity cancel downlight recoveries from Godly were so impressive. That final stock there you're seeing again outspaces into a downlight recovery, but he was hitting gravity cancel downlight recovery time and time again as reactions. Like there was the recovery from Acno where he's coming up and Godly's like, all right, well, I don't want to just jump slightly above it, and when you're in recovery frames, gravity cancel downlight recovery. But they're jumping into this next one. I know it's a void behind me.